Lucy, and this is my channel, The Sewing Gardener. Welcome back if you've been before, and a very big welcome to those that are new here. I have had a flurry of new subscribers, which is fantastic, so thank you to everyone who has subscribed and liked and commented on my previous posts. This is my channel where I discuss all things sewing, what I have made, what I'm planning to make, and in the summer months, well, spring, summer and autumn, there will be a smattering of gardening included as well, but I generally put that at the end of my vlogs, so those that are here for sewing get to see that first, and then the gardening is an add-on, so if you don't want to watch it, that's absolutely fine. There is none today, mainly because I'm going to go through what happened during the month of March. It's quite a busy month. There's been a few events, there's been some personal things for me which I will go into detail, and things that have come into my sewing room. One very big thing that's come into my sewing room, but I will discuss all of that. So I decided not to add any gardening in, although I am very excited because the dahlias that I have planted, they have nearly all, bar two I think, have started to sprout, to shoot. So they've got new shoots coming. And most of my seeds, apart from one set of sweet peas, which I am now wondering whether I never actually planted, have also sprouted. So spring is springing in my greenhouse, but yes, I'm not going to go into that any more than what I've just said there. So March, what has happened during the month of March? It has been busy and there's been quite a few things made, which is quite surprising. So we'll get straight into it. The beginning of March saw Frocktails, Plymouth Frocktails. So I went to Plymouth Frocktails. I picked up the lovely Kirstine, who is Mama Stitches over on Instagram, up from Tiverton Parkway, because I drive literally past it on my way down and she would have had to get a replacement coach. So I thought, well, we will coincide, and I picked her up. So we then drove down to Plymouth together, and we then arrived on the Friday, checked into the hotel, had a lovely wander around Plymouth. We went out and got some, it was very blowy actually, we didn't get any pictures together because the hair was literally going everywhere on the seafront. But yeah, we went down to Plymouth, had a good walk round, went back to the hotel, met up with Mandy Make It Sew over here on yeah, she's Make It Sew, isn't she? Make It Sew over here on YouTube and on Instagram, and the lovely Claire, who's Claire Knit Pearl. And then we went out with a few others for supper, which was organised by the fabulous Catherine from Soberton Makery, and I met her for the first time in real life, which was amazing, even though I felt I've known her for quite a while now from Instagram and over here on YouTube. So yeah, that was really lovely. And then the Saturday we went around Plymouth again, had a good mooch around, went to all the fabric shops, and then got ready for Plymouth Frocktails itself. I made and wore this fabulous, what's upside down? Deer and Doe Sirocco jumpsuit in this gorgeous teal zebra burnt out velour, which looks very see-through actually when you hold it up to the light, but it's not when it's on. It's most bizarre. So I made the Deer and Doe Sirocco, which also has pockets, and I wore this. I made a boo-boo on the make because my pleats are on the outside and they should be on the inside. So if you see the line drawing there, they're supposed to tuck in. Because when I've made this before and on previous makes, when I put this on, I thought, I don't remember these pleats here, and that's because they're not supposed to be there. But it worked well, and they look like they're supposed to be there, and I say it's a new design feature, so quite impressed with that. I originally made it with long sleeves, and the Thursday night before the Friday when I left, I was cutting off said sleeves because I didn't like it, and that made all the difference. I will insert a couple of pictures here of me wearing it. But yes, it was a really fun event. I had a lovely time, met up with some new people that supported me for Sew Skin Summer last year, which was lovely. I'll forget the names, but I'll mention them in the comments. saw the fabulous Angela and Lizzie, Katie from Whatever Katie Sews over on Instagram. There's far too many to mention, but it was a wonderful evening full of fabulous sewists and beautiful outfits. And from that, there was 2 people in the same dress but in completely different fabric, and I came away knowing what pattern I absolutely needed to buy at the Stitch Festival, so that was good. But yeah, and then Kirstine and I went for brunch following morning. Well, we had breakfast at night, and then we went for coffee, and it was just really nice to have a bit of a decompress. And again, lovely conversations. So thoroughly enjoyable weekend that was. The weekend after that, I came home and I built this. Now, originally I built this downstairs, so this was a purchase which should have been for Christmas, for me, for Christmas. It was being sold secondhand over on Facebook, and unfortunately the lady that was selling it had a very nasty broken leg, so we weren't able to collect it. So we collected it in February after we came back from skiing, and then the weekend after Plymouth was the first weekend that I managed to get it together. So I put it up downstairs, and I did actually film a time lapse of me doing it, which I can put a little bit of footage in here. It's never gone anywhere, because then I decided to move it from there up into here. And I've got I think I said on my last vlog, I've got a long narrow sewing room. It's wide, but because of the pitch of the roof, it makes it less wide. But I thought, I'm going to get it in, and that's caused a whole hoo-ha, moving literally everything around. And I'm still in the process of sorting out my sewing room, but I'm a lot happier with it now. I had a really good go at it over the weekend, and yesterday, what are we today? Tuesday. It's the last day of March. So yeah, I had a really good go at tidying it up properly yesterday. So I will show you. Let me just take this off and spin you around. Ta-da! I bought a quilting frame. Now, the intention was never to buy the sewing machine, but she was selling it, and it's got a laser and it's got a shore stitch attached to it. So I've also now got it. I am the owner of a Pfaff Hobby 1200 grand quilter, as well as this. So I still need to put the leaders and bits on it, but the main aim was to see whether it fitted in my sewing room, and it sort of does. It does need to come forward a little bit more, so again I'll lose this space here a little bit more, but actually I only really put my main ironing board in there, so I've put that outside the door, and then we'll just bring it up and put it down as I use it, because when I have quilting I have a little tiny board. So yeah, that's that. Let me pop you back. Can it just be moved? Put you back. Oh, I'll try not to cut you off as I do that. So yeah, that was that weekend of my purchase. Oh, let's see if I can't get you back up properly. I think that's where we were. So yeah, there was that. And then the following week, so then the day before Stitch Festival, I actually, now you may have heard in the news, I don't know, about a year ago, the government announced there was going to be a bit of a reform to the NHS. I did work within the NHS. I worked within one of the integrated care boards, and we as an organisation needed to shed about 40% of our staff. So I made the very difficult decision to opt for voluntary redundancy. So on the 12th, I didn't actually leave my post until the 18th, but I had some annual leave that needed to use up. So on the 12th of March, I handed in my lanyard, and yes, I've said goodbye. So as of now, I am job hunting. So, and have been actually pretty much since February, but yeah, so big change for me, hence why there's been more things made, I think, because I've got more time on my hands. I haven't. My house, I'm having a good sort out in the house. We're finishing off decorating projects. I say me. My husband needs help with his business, so I'm helping him with that. In fact, I did tree planting last Thursday. You may have seen on Instagram. I'll put a picture here. He needed to plant like 500 trees, I think. Basically, he dug most of the holes, the main holes, and then I planted said trees and backfilled as we went along. But yeah, I did that all day last Thursday. So, but it was great to be outside, and it gave me lots of clarity. But I'm not having a scattergun approach to applying for jobs anymore because, which I did do in February. So, but yes, that's the big news. So not only have I got a big frame, the big news is that, yeah, I am, no longer employed for the time being. But I've got lots of things going on, so it's fine, absolutely fine. And then on the Friday, I think was it that weekend? Although I can't remember when Stitch was. No, Stitch was the following weekend. It's the following weekend, not that weekend. Getting my weekends mixed up because that was Mothering Sunday. See, March has been so busy. That was Mothering Sunday. Then it was my husband's birthday, and then it was Stitch Festival. So yes, as it wasn't the Thursday before Stitch Festival, but it was the anywho. Doesn't really matter, does it? So I went to London on the Friday, get to the train station, and my train was cancelled. Excellent, thank you for that. So I got the notification when I was in the train station, just as my husband dropped me off and said, would you like me to stay? And I said, no, there's literally no point because my train's going to be here. So anyway, I managed to get the next train, which was totally fine. And then I met up with Dee and Kelly, who are the Sisters of Stitchcraft. And after I checked into the hotel, we went to a tea place whose name I've forgotten, but I'll put it here and in the description, which Kelly wanted to go to. And it was really insightful, actually. I really enjoyed that. And then I got some food because I was starving. So I just got a sandwich, and then we went to the pub, met up with loads of other lovely sewists, and then we went for food, and then we went for more drinks, and I had the worst night's sleep ever on the Friday night because I'd had a drink. But Saturday came round, went into the Stitch Festival, had a good walk round, met up with some other lovely sewists, met loads of people. There's too many to mention. And bought a few things. So what did I buy? So I mentioned I actually bought this on the Friday because I went in on the Friday after I got there as well, just for a quick spin round. I really wanted to buy the Riviera dress by Trend Patterns. So this is it. And the lovely Nikki from Sew and Snip over here on YouTube and on Instagram wore this to Frocktails, as did Nadia, who is Stitch and Style by Nadia, I want to say. But they both had glorious versions of this dress. And I specifically wanted to make it for the Grand National. So yesterday I cut out all the pattern pieces. And I didn't think I had enough fabric, but I wanted to test it in case I could do it with pattern Jenga. But alas, I tried last night and I literally cannot fit these onto my fabric that I want to make for the Grand National. So I am having a rethink, and I think I am going to make the Peony by Fabric Godmother. But haven't fully decided. So this was the one pattern that I bought. As I say, I got this on the Friday, and then Saturday we went in and here's my little bag. I bought, which I think everybody else has also bought this pattern, or most other people, apart from Julie, who sews her own clothes because she went for a different jacket. But we went to Maison Fauve and I bought the Misfit jacket. As I say, I think everybody has bought this. It is a biker style jacket. These are the line drawings there, and it's just a really cute jacket. They had some on the stands, which I'll Judy running so-and-so took some pictures of me and some footage trying them on. I'll try and put it in here, which she did send me. I didn't post it on Instagram because my face is I was having far too much fun to notice that the camera was I was having photographs. So but anywho, yes, I've bought that, and there may be a collaboration coming with somebody on here. I never know whether collaborations, whether I'm allowed to mention it or not, so I'm not going to mention who it is or what it is. Yes, but I think so. We're sorting this out as we speak. So I got that. I also bought some fabric to make it in, and now since I've got it home, I'm less sure. So I think it was Higgs and Higgs. We went to Higgs and Higgs. I was with Dean, Kelly and Julie, and I saw this on the Bolt and I absolutely loved it. The colour jumped out at me, the pattern jumped out to me, which is unusual because I've been missing out on leopard print, I think, or animal print. So yeah, I've got enough to make the jacket. It's quite a wide, it's really wide as well. But yeah, I got 2 meters, or 2.5, I think, to make the jacket, but since getting it home I'm not so sure, so I haven't fully decided whether I'm going to use this to make the Misfit jacket. But if not, the other fabric, I think I've got it here, I had considered was this that we got in the second fabric subscription, so Fabric Obsession subscription box back in February. So I might use that instead. I say, haven't decided. And then the only other piece of fabric I bought was which I was very good, was these glorious, I think they're 1/2 meters. Yeah, 1/2 meter pieces for quilting, and they had several bundles on their stand, and I just couldn't decide, so I went with these nice bright ones because I don't really have a lot of sort of plain, but they're not fully plain because they've got little speckles all over them, little tiny dots. So that was another purchase. And then other than that, oh, there's another one. One's popped out. Other than that, I got some bag making supplies from Studio 77, as well as going on the little stand, which I got a label and a ring pull, zip pull in, but I also got those. And I think I've taken out the continuous zipper. Oh no, I didn't. And I got those because I just love the colour of those, and it comes with zips and webbing. And then I bought some needles, which I dropped as soon as I bought. And then I went to Pigeon Wishes and just got some other queue making bag bits in there. Purple Stitches, not Pigeon Wishes. Purple Stitches. To get some other bag making things. And that is pretty much my purchases from the Stitch Festival. However, I also did the catwalk for Bornella Fabrics on Saturday. I'll put some pictures here and a bit of footage. And I made the Closet Core Charlie Kaftan in this glorious new fabric that Tanya designed, having had a scarf with this pattern on it. So she wanted it on fabric. It's a 1950s scarf, and she's put it onto a beautiful cotton poplin, which isn't that heavy actually. It's a very nice weight. It's absolutely beautiful to sew with. Highly recommend. And it's made a most glorious dress actually, and I'm looking at it. I could have entered it for So Yellow Ferendo, but I didn't. The yellow is really popping out on the screen. But yeah, so I made that, and I've made it numerous times before. So it was a nice simple, well, not simple because you do have to cut out this bit here and pop it in. But yeah, it's a nice make. So there it is. That's the Charlie Kaftan. You can have it in maxi, which is what obviously I've done, or a shorter version. And they're the line drawings, so the difference there, because the maxi version has got waist ties, this one doesn't. I have made this version once. This one I've made, I think this is my 4th. This one I've made once, and it makes a fabulous beach cover-up, so, or pool or whatever, you know, when you're on a hot holiday and you want something to go over your swimwear. Fabulous cover-up for those. So that's that. I don't think there's anything else. And all day, other than when I was on the catwalk and that, I wore my Blanca flight suit, which is in the wash, so I can't show you that. But amazing. It was a fabulous day filled with fabulous people, and there have been many vlogs about it on here, so do go and check others out because they will go into it in a lot more detail than I will. I wanted to get, and I've just realised I haven't got the pattern for this, so I don't know what they're called. Wanted to get these finished. I started making these before I went to Stitch Festival. Look at me, this is another animal print, and I bought this after we went to the Dressmakers Ball in Leicester. I went with the fabulous Susie and Kirstine to the fabric boutique in Ashby de la Zouche, and I bought this denim. It's a lovely grey black animal print denim. I haven't made it up, but I have now, and I've used the paper cut. They're paper cut jeans, and I can't remember what they're called. I made them for my daughter a year or so ago. The pattern came with the Ace animal denim in a Fabric Godmother subscription box, and she loved the denim, so I made them up for her, and they were a great fit. It's a fabulous pattern. I love the pockets. I love the detail on them. They're easy. They're quite easy to make up. They fit really nicely. I've taken photos. I've not shared them on Instagram, but I'll put a couple in here. So I've made those. I actually extended the hip a little bit. I flared out a little bit on the hip just to give me a bit more adjustment if I put more weight back on. So I've made those. And the other make that I have done for this month is, I have actually made something else, but I've gifted it, and she's received it today. So it was from my work colleague, but I'll say that in a minute. The other garment that I made was my So Yellow for Endo make, which I managed to use up this fabulous embroidery on glay, which I've had in my stash for like ever. Which I originally got from a shop in Hereford. It's like a charity shop. They're called Rose to Rags or Rags to Rose something, and they stop fabric going into landfill. And when I used to work at the hospital, it's right by the hospital, so I used to call in on my lunch hours, but I haven't worked there for at least 3 years, maybe 4. So yes, you can see how long I've had this in my stash. And I finished it with a beautiful label, a sunny label from Bornella Fabrics, and I made the Fabric Godmother Fleur. I'm not a massive peplum fan. I think it's because I'm quite pear-shaped, and I always feel that the peplum accentuates my hips. Could be wrong, but that's just my personal opinion. So I omitted the peplum and then extended the placket probably by a good 5 inches or so, and normally I like to tuck my blouses in, but I won't be able to do this with this one just because it's not quite long enough. But as it's a summer blouse, I really don't think I will need to. So I made that, and then I made a bestie bag and a purse for my ex-work colleague, which she received in the post today, so I'll put pictures of those in here. And then of course I have made all of the main quilt blocks for the So Place Like Home, yes, So Place Like Home quilt from Artie's Quilting. The live sew alongs are finished now. I didn't make the mini block one on Sunday because we had people round, and I did a big Sunday lunch, and I haven't actually cut out all the mini blocks yet, so I've still got the mini blocks to do, which are the border. You don't have to do the mini blocks, but I am going to do them, the mini blocks that go around the outside. But I have, and I don't know if I've shown you what I've shown you, I think I've shown you my witch, but if not, I will just show her. So here is the witch. So I finished her, she's done. All good. Those smoke units took forever to construct. And then it was the turn of the winged monkey. I have missed off a stitch and flip there, so I do need to put that in. But here is my winged monkey. I've also got a picture sticker of the winged monkey on my sewing machine. Love him, think he's absolutely fabulous. And then the biggest block of all, I finished this week, and it's a mammoth one. So it starts off with that you do this bit first, which is lovely. Loved construction this bit. Then you go up to the lettering. Some of them are a bit crooked and probably could do a little bit better, but there we go. And then you go on to the Emerald City, and I think you make the Yellow Brick Road actually. So you make the Yellow Brick Road and then the Emerald City, and then you put it all together. But it's huge. So that's the main focus for the main central piece of the quilt. So they can be put together now, and as I say, I just need to do the mini blocks, and it's a good job that I've finished, nearly finished, because tomorrow is the start of the next sew along. But these are monthly blocks, which is the second star to the right. And just before this vlog, I have finally got my delivery. Haven't actually opened it. I thought I'd done all the sellotape. I have split the sellotape, but I don't think I have fully. There we go, have now. And I thought I'd share it with you. Excuse the rustling. Oh, you can see I haven't opened it because it's still in all its bubble wrap. So this is the second star to the right kit, and I went, there are two colourways. You can have Team Dawn or Team Dusk. I decided to go with Team Dusk. Yeah, Dusk. Adam is doing Dawn. Adam is a pink, it's got a pink colourway. I think I've got the, I don't know where it is. I've got the postcard somewhere. But yeah, so this is it. This is the kit, and it comes like a fabulous book. And obviously I haven't opened it, so let's have a look inside. So inside you get all of this. So these are all the fabrics that you've got to make your quilt. It also comes with a crocodile needle finder and an iron-on patch, and then the book. So that's the Dawn colourway there, and I went with Dusk. So very excited to have received this, and as with all of John's patterns, I'm sure this book is super detailed, and I'm not going to say super easy to make, because that's not true, but they're super easy to follow. The instructions are super easy to follow and very well laid out, and yeah, I just can't wait to get started on that. But I do need to finish my So Place Like Home, and I also need to crack on and finish the Farm Fresh, because obviously with So Place Like Home, my Farm Fresh has stalled somewhat. And then the only thing to share is fabric that's come into my sewing room. Let me get rid of that. Other than what I bought at the Stitch Festival. So this came in the last Fabric Obsession subscription box. I'm a Cool colourway, so I got this fabulous French terry in this glorious grey, black, white colour, and I made the, I'll show you that. I made the So Different Batwing top, which is a quick make of theirs, and it's sewed up beautifully, and I absolutely love it. You can see the batwings there. The only thing I wasn't so keen on was the waistband. It has got the waistband, and I sewed up the sides because they were split on the pattern, but I've tucked that up. And I don't know if I was to make it again whether I would keep it or omit it. Probably keep, because you can tuck it up and it does give you more options, but I'm not entirely sure. And also from Fabric Obsession, I bought, after seeing Becky's outfit at Frocktails and Katie wore all this at Stitch Festival, I bought some of this fabulous fabric. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to make with it, but I needed it, as you do with fabric. And whilst I was there, I also purchased some denim that was a really good value actually, to make either a pair of dungarees for my daughter or a Zadie jumpsuit for moi. And then Minerva, I ordered this ages ago. I got this from Minerva as a brand ambassador, and it is a fabulous red and pink double gauze, which is destined to become a pair of Fran pyjamas. And I have ordered enough fabric to make the pyjamas, and if they're too wide, I will do the closet core bottoms. The Carolines, not the Fran, because they're both closet core, aren't they? So yeah, that's everything that I wanted to share with you today. Oh, actually, I lie. One final thing. It is the start of April tomorrow. Sew Skin Summer is on the way in May, so get your thinking caps on of what you want to make for Sew Skin Summer. I am in the process of sorting out some new graphics and trying to get sponsorship again. I had some fabulous donations and prizes last year, so if anybody is watching this that knows somebody who you may want to donate a prize, then do let me know. But yeah, same rules as before. I'm going to rob the email idea from the wonderful girls that did the Sew Phoenix challenge, just in case anybody on here wants to enter but doesn't have an Instagram account, so it is more accessible. And I think that is literally everything I was going to say. So thank you for joining me. Do like, comment, share, whatever on here. I do read all the comments and love hearing what you've got to say. So just, yeah, wishing you all a happy Easter for those that celebrate, and for those that don't, I hope you have a wonderful weekend ahead. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you all very soon. Bye for now.